Well, I'll look into that later. Cord. That's almost right. Let me put you in the picture. Let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister. Ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture. Let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister. Ain't no king, man, she's my queen. I had a dream, I've seen the light. Don't put it out, 'cause she's alright. Yes, she's my sister. She didn't scream, she didn't make a sound. I forgive you, boy, but don't leave town. Cold black skin, naked in the rain. Some flash of the lightning, young again. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Remy. I'm just singing. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. Let me put you in the picture, let me show you what I mean. The Messiah is my sister, ain't no king, man, she's my queen. I had a dream, I've seen the light, don't put it out, 'cause she's alright, yes, she's my sister. Ah, there's the robot. Oof. I just drank a fifth of gin, now I'm going to Disneyland. I just got cuffed again, now I'm going to Disneyland. I just robbed a grocery store, I'm going to Disneyland. Yeah. I just flipped off President George, I'm going to Disneyland. going to Disneyland. Hey. Aw, hey, Vince. Are you an itchy Remy? Is that why you are being so demanding? Anyway, I can talk and brush at the same time. Good evening, Internet. It is time, 8:20 p.m. on Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. Welcome to Thursday Thanatopsis. I'm your host, Mark Amsride, DJ Amstrack. This is Remy, and as you can see up here, Daniel will be joining us shortly. He is doing a work thing in the other room. Tonight we're going to be continuing Sunless Skies. I have a lot of work worlders to rescue, so I should get to it. Meow. If Remy will let me. I wish you would sit a little closer, Remy. Oh, my arm. I think I slept on it a little funny the other night because I just woke up with it, just like my shoulder really mad at me. I think that was yesterday. And it hasn't entirely recovered yet. Okay, I left something in the hold to remind me of what I was doing. That's right, Honey was going to Magdalene's. Let's see, there were also things... Right, I also had business in Eleutheria. I dealt with the soul conditions that kept me from doing anything in Caduceus. But yeah, I was going to be heading toward Albion this time. That's why I had the hours on me. And yeah, not going towards Titania, so not going to take that. Alright. Off we go. Oh, somebody said something, and Daniel's not here to read the chat. Hello! I couldn't understand what you just said. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, that was a good song. It's not all super firmly in my memory, but it was quite clever. I remember enjoying it. Oh boy, some souls. Ooh. Yes, please. Okay, what am I trading for seeds? I mean, I have plenty, so. Let me open up the chat so I can see it myself and not have to rely on it being yelled from the other room. Oh, the random songs is one of the things we are all about. We don't usually break into musicals, but songs, yes. Yeah, we can do that. Although that's not a terrific deal. Let's see, 4,200, 3. Actually, no, that's a pretty good deal. That's a decent deal. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Yes, Sunless Sea and Sunless Skies are both quite good. I think I prefer Sunless Sea, but it's a little less forgiving than Sunless Skies. But I do think I prefer the writing in it. Not that Sunless Skies is not fun. I do quite enjoy it as well. This is like my 40-somethingth time streaming it. So, oh no, Rami is looking to get somewhere she should not be. Just a moment. I need to go cat-proof my desk. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you were just trying to distract me to steal where I was sitting. Oh, you naughty cat. All right, so the core mechanic of the game is definitely for Sunless Sea and kind of for Sunless Skies. Is naval trade. Technically, you're a train in Sunless Skies, but the gameplay is very, very similar. It's just a different shade of paint, or a different coat of paint on the core of it. You have one or more in one home port in Sunless Sea, that is London, and one home port per region in Sunless Skies. There are multiple regions you can travel between. And the basic mechanic of the game is you go around buying and selling goods and collecting port reports for various authorities in your at your home port, at your major at the major hub.
Snicked major hub.
And that's how you make money, and that's how you get better stuff, and that's how you become stronger, better equipped, and the better equipped you are, the more mysteries you can uncover and survive.
Yeah, Seas is much more about the arbitrage.
Yeah. This one is like finding random deals and exploiting those. Sunless Sea is learning where sells for cheap and buys for... learning where sells low and where buys high.
Those also vary about, like, finishing... It's very about, like, getting a perma-boost from something and finishing your captain's story and starting a new captain with that boost.
That too. Although I think this one is a bit of that too. But this is our second captain, and we have quite a lot of stats.
Also, my goodness, the sheer number of stories you could get to it with Seas.
Mm-hmm.
Every origin and aspiration, or...
Merchant economy game, yes, precisely.
What's the term for... close to aspiration, but not exactly. The end goal you're reaching for.
Your ambition.
There we go. Every combination of ambition and origin is basically its own story. Notably, Your Father's Bones is the one we did both times for some silly reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we did as Longshanks, and boy, that's a weird ending.
That was a weird ending.
But hilariously, there's Your Father's Bones ends very differently indeed for a different origin. It's deeply amusing. It's just so different. And yeah, like that matrix of ambitions and origins. I think there's easily 60 plus endings, honestly.
No, this is not where I meant to go. I do not have
Skies here,
enough
on the
terror.
other hand, I think there's like 4 endings per ambition, and you choose which ending you want, basically.
Yeah, the number of endings are fewer, but
Like, I want to do this way.
but you like build up your character bit by bit. Like your character's backstory is also their stat growth. So like you choose what has happened to them based on how you want your stats to, based on how you want your stats to grow. Or vice versa, you let your stats grow based on how you want their stories to have unfolded.
King of the Thieves says, you're the only man streaming this.
Huh.
Yeah, everyone else is girls? Or like cats or elves or things? Maybe dwarves? I can see dwarves playing this. Rock and Stone, mind the hours. Rock and Stone is so redundant. Remember Strike the Earth?
Strike the Earth.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Sell those. Ooh, gossip. The attendant takes the gourds from you. Thank you. Many here need to speak in voices that are not our own, and chorister nectar works wonders upon the vocal cords. He smiles warmly. Why don't you stay a while? Enjoy the facilities. And no bargains available.
Timothy says, I'm surprised. This looks really fun.
It is. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, people have probably kind of slept on this a little bit because in certain ways if you love the heck out of Sunless Sea for specific reasons, you would find this disappointing in certain ways.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Remy.
Honestly, if you gave it its due anyway, you almost didn't make that, dummy. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. Should I close this?
Yeah, go ahead. Now that you're here and can see things and I've entirely set up, that no longer needs to be open, I suppose.
Wow, she skittered so much she actually shed a claw teeth. You're not there before you said it.
Remy, you're such a klutz. But now she's sitting on top of on top of the back of my chair, which is cute.
Can you imagine if you tried to scramble up something so hard your fingernail delaminated somewhat?
Ow!
No, like the nail delaminated, like just like a layer of it came off.
Oh,
Ah!
Okay,
Very
that...
unsettling, but not super big.
Something like that actually kind of has happened before.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It's actually... Yeah, you're right. It's not as bad as it sounds. Although...
It doesn't feel great. Like, it feels detectably less armored than it was before.
Yeah. Although frequently it's less like scrambling and more just like doing a lot of work with my hands, and that eventually happens.
Yes, this is absolutely in the same world as Fallen London, sort of.
Sort of.
Like,
Same universe as Fallen London.
Yeah, it's all the Fifth City continuity. Fifth City being
yes.
London.
This is...
This happens...
Do you know what the...
I'm going to give the detail there.
Okay. Do you know what the... Obvious. Do you know what the Avid Horizon is? Because this is on the other side of the Avid Horizon. It's, if you don't know what the Avid Horizon is, it's basically a gateway to space, or the high wilderness, as they call it, that exists in the Neath. At some point after,
after your captain's adventures in...
Yeah, sometime in the timeline after Sunless Sea, Queen Victoria she's had enough of her arrangement with the Masters of London, and basically takes the whole of the city and flees through the Avid Horizon and into space. Moves London
with an experimental weapon in tow.
With an experimental weapon in tow. The Unclear Bomb.
No one's quite sure what it does.
As the name would imply.
she finds this, not the realm we're in, but another one which has been named Albion, belonging to a star named the King of Hours.
Who is gone.
And she takes its throne, giving her terrifying time powers and turning her into the supervillainess she always wanted to be.
Yup.
These says, went from steampunk fantasy to spelljammer.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, it went to like a steampunk smelljammer, pretty much.
Smelljammer?
Well, considering the weird amount of air there is in the high wilderness, it's got to be surprisingly more scented than you would think.
Yeah, I suppose. Especially around, what's it called again? Hybris.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Trump factors.
Oh, well, those two, but Hybris.
Yeah, definitely Hybris. Yeah, she calls herself her renewed majesty.
Oh, there was a thing.
I think she's kind of low-key at war with the stars.
Yeah. It's a Cold War, at least. As cold as stars can be, at least.
But apparently stars have been at war with each other for a long time.
Uh-huh.
So that's weird. And terrifying.
Hello.
Ministry monitor lizard go boom.
Secrets. I have 30 cryptic benefactors. Blackmail. You blackmailing me. Sponging all my money. I don't think it's funny. Something. I don't remember all the words.
King of Thieves says, should I assume you're getting constant upgrades?
I wouldn't say constant.
That's another thing Skies kind of lacks. There's like 4 tiers of each weapon type, pretty much. And engine.
Now, there are kind of like situational things that you might want to have. But even then, you wouldn't like normally fly around with them. You'd kit yourself out because you know you're going to do a thing.
I guess digivolving your officers might count as upgrades.
That's true. Sunless Skies had officer promotions as well, though Sunless Sea had officer promotions,
Yeah.
but those were like linear. Those didn't branch, right? Or did they? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I think they could. Like, I know it's like a roll of the dice what you do with the magician guy. Kingsley says, when I say upgrades, I mean like efficiency stuff.
Efficiency stuff.
It's like an engine that uses less fuel.
I wish.
In fairness, I think the Terpsichore used a little less fuel.
Yeah, the Terpsichore does use...
Like, even the Devourer actually gets like a decently low fuel consumption compared to the Angel Engine.
Yeah. But even those are just, like, in the usual line of upgrades.
And of course, one of the major things about this game, it's significantly more forgiving.
Yes.
Like, if your terror ever gets dangerously high, you're not completely screwed. Around like 80-90%, it will give you a get out of jail card, and that it will spawn an event that lets you take a nightmare to drop your terror by half or 100. I don't remember which.
I think it's by half. Or by 50, rather.
Right.
Yeah.
Which can be useful because some of the cooler guns require you to have a certain amount of nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be a crazy sucker to think of some of these things.
Yeah, like this one, the Wrath of Heaven. I think we had to have 3 nightmares to build that.
I believe so. It's 2 for the guest gun, 3 for the... the screaming at your enemies like a star gun.
Yeah, just throw correspondence at your enemies. It's not messing around.
King of Zay says, weight of cargo counted also. Who wants an easy game? In fairness, I think our weight of cargo does affect our efficiency a little bit. Like, I think it's multiplied by our efficiency to get the actual amount of fuel consumed or something like that.
I don't think it is here, but I seem to recall that it might have been in Sunless Sea.
Sea definitely not, yeah. Oh, we should pick up a little extra fuel when next you're heading somewhere and show off what this engine can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best engine in the game that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Not as in like the train engine, but I mean the...
Yeah, the Devourer of Distance.
It's made of it's made of light and powered by the soul of a creature that served a star that's dead now. Some devils built it for us. They're doing research and just let us keep the prototype.
Oh, I forgot to deliver things to New Winchester. I had pamphlets to deliver to New Winchester and forgot to. Yeah. Oh well.
Dang it! I didn't. That's something I didn't line up in my notes. My notes speak of like getting a law furnace and a new passenger for the line. Since you're actually going to want to do a bunch of Albion to Reach trips, because I believe you're going for the Abolitionists ambition.
Mm-hmm.
King of Sea says, I'm totally not stealing Forgotten London lore for a D&D campaign. Well, of course not. You're stealing it for a Pathfinder campaign, right? Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Yeah. Oh, you know, be sociopathic.
What?
A Fallen London game in GURPS.
I was going to say that. I was going to say GURPS. Not that I've ever played GURPS, but... Okay, present myself to customs. Nothing.
We're literally not... How to make customs suspicious of you in the future. We're literally not smuggling anything this time.
This
time? King of Thieves says OGL joke here. OGL joke here. Original gangster license. Bees will attack you if you're carrying nectar.
Do I have
Bees.
a port report already?
From the circus or one of those places you take to Royal Society?
No. From, the place that's just like right here. Brabazon, yes I do.
Brabazungus?
Mm-hmm. So I'll just go straight to London.
Yeah, because you're after a law furnace, so I'd say having your report from the circus, the House of Rods and Chains, and Sun would be useful, but I think you have plenty of modification points.
Pretty sure I do, yeah. If I wanted to be safe, I could just bring a bunch of tea with me.
That's very much an option. Whee!
Tea is worth a lot.
So the game's zoomed out, so it doesn't quite feel like it, but we're actually going frighteningly fast. Like, this guy's going to aggro, and, bye. Fun thing about this particular engine is it takes a long time to slow down from boost mode.
Yeah, that's the one downside.
Your penguin curls into a ball. It thinks you're being insensible. Yeah, Pathfinder 2 is neat. I've been watching VODs, or YouTube uploaded VODs of some guy named Zoran the Bear teaching some VTubers, including Girl DM actually, to play Pathfinder 2 using, you know, one of those tools.
There we go.
She mostly knows what she's doing aside from the specifics of Pathfinder 2 and the tool they're using.
I suppose there's this one, good old 7274-F. The F stands for... Well, I'll let you infer. He reads from the order. Live specimen of celestial fauna, brackets 1, close brackets, must be in rude health and of intemperate disposition. So, he snaps his ledger shut. Best of luck with that one.
Here you go.
A pair of laborers maneuver the ketch into its new pen, their hands trembling as you recount tales of its ferocity. The foreman shakes his head. God knows what they want this one for. I stopped asking questions after someone gave me an answer once. He shudders and pays you.
King of Thieves is gonna play a puppet.
New assignment. Taking me to Whirlberry.
By the sea.
Whirlberry by the sea. I know you're just kind of indistinctly humming, but at first, at least, it kind of sounded like the Mario invincibility jingle. Sounded like you were going. That's what it sounded like. Put down that hammer. Alright. Shops. Bank.
How horrified would you be if we were like at my dad's place taking care of some stuff and the door needed malleting back into place and I had you hand me the mallet and I started going
Be like, Daniel. What are you?
unsettling about that?
Although I'd be I'd be a bit more unsettled if you started singing "Bang Bang Maxwell's silver hammer came down upon his head."
This is a rubber mallet. TMC says nothing like annoying a DM with ungodly stealth. I don't know. I remember amusing a DM with ungodly stealth. We were doing. Oh shit! Have we moved into Pathfinder yet? Or no? I think we're still in 3.5.
Yeah, fireworks and bronzewood for Parliament. Think those could be related?
Good question.
3 and 5.
Maybe they're doing that thing where they like crucify Koroks on burning cross. So messed up. Oh, don't forget to grab Raveling James.
Ah, yes.
Just in case there's any woobly wunguses around. You have so much tea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a town up north. We could have a real party. The fish might not like it, though.
We could listen to Jeplin?
Jeplin?
Brain?
And put on
Mouth?
cheddar cheese?
That brain-mouth connection just completely dropped there.
Syntax error. Oh, King of Thieves recently found the 3.5 spell compendium. That's a fun book. That's actually where I got a lot of the more broken stuff that I occasionally had fun for little. Oh yeah, right. We were playing 3.5, and I had a forest gnome cleric.
This guy. His favorite spell was grease.
Yeah, I loved grease. Like, notably, Meep was not my character. I did not make him. I probably was not playing him to the type that he was built for, in the least. But I did my best. And, yeah, there was some priests of Bane, you know, being evil, and had like a shrine of Bane that was for some reason allowed to exist near Waterdeep, wherever the heck we were. And yeah, forest gnomes have a pretty high stealth check. I abused a couple of things to get it higher, and snuck on over, used passive out trace so they wouldn't be able to even follow me afterwards.
Eagles Empyrean to Lustrum.
Alright. And very quietly cast grease as they kneeled to they were kneeling to pray. Yeah. When they got up, the falling and the swearing and the cursing and the just absolute tomfoolery began. And then a roughly 30-odd stealth check was made, and passive out trace was abused, and yeah, they had no idea who did that to them, and I think it amused several gods. Like, my character later got a personal favor from his god, as well as, like, the approval of 2 or 3 others. Because the Zents, I believe, were causing lots of trouble at that time, so seeing them just get absolutely trolled. Amused the DM to such a degree that he rolled that it amused several gods too. King of Thieves says, "Control ooze, yay." Oh boy. Ooze, you say? That reminds me of a certain Wild Surge.
Oh god, that one. So, we have a friend with absolutely uncanny luck. And he likes to play wild mages. And he got an incredible Wild Surge that, like, chained several times into, like, multiple things. And in addition to all the various typical metamagic applications, extensions, heightened, whatevers, he got things like living spell. Every spell you cast becomes a living spell, which is an ooze with the properties of the spells you're casting.
Yeah, and this was one of those things, chain surges, so lots of surges all happened at once.
Yeah. Cast every spell you have prepared was another one of them. And another one was, when you cast a spell, all your prepared spells refresh. So that turned into basically an uncontrolled spell vomit that didn't end. And as luck would have it, one of the spells he had prepared was Gate.
Mm-hmm.
So these Gate oozes just started appearing and, pointing to randomly selected planes, and
Swiss cheesing the multiverse.
Yeah, the multiverse. Yeah, the multiverse basically started bleeding into itself, across itself.
And this kind of happened in an instant, so I believe deific intervention was involved.
Yeah, didn't Trey calculate it out that total entropy within 6.5 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue was the fact that all the gates were gray oozes, and I think one of the effects was making the gates vomit forth additional gray oozes. So it was either exponential or it may have actually been the other one, the shout pole. It may have been factorial growth. The only thing nastier than exponential. And yeah, trouble is all those oozes are just like ordinary gray oozes as far as their physical attributes went, which means they had finite mass, which means the entire multiverse was going to become a black hole very quickly. And yeah, not even the evil gods would be happy with that. So that got rewound and not permitted to happen again. And the dumbest part was, this was supposed to have been a magic missile. He wildcast a magic missile and it was enough to TPK the entire multiverse. King of the Thieves used to play a tiefling bard who was a barista in a traveling coffee shop. A traveling barista bard coffee shop. That sounds like it would make quite a bit of money in a lot of the D&D settings, especially the obvious ones like Greyhawk and Faerun. People go through a lot in those places. They would pay. And the quest hooks would come to you. It's like the opposite of a bar. Why be in the tavern and going to the quest hook when you can be serving drinks and having quest hooks come to you? That's clever, I approve. Even in space, London's factories are terrible for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Brain did a fart. Passengers from the Empyrean, were they for Lustrum
Yes,
or Prosper?
Lustrum.
Lustrum this time, okay. That's both more and less convenient than usual. Slightly less because it's not just like right at the door. And slightly more because you can drop off all those charred plates
Uh-huh.
without having to go out of your way.
Your gunners don't need asking twice. There's a flurry of activity in the battery, and then the familiar roar of your guns as they unleash volley after volley into the radiant wreck. The final blinding illumination, like a glimpse of the apocalypse, and then the heavens are dark once more.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Glorious Dreadnoughts. Are they under Vicky's control, or are they like, oh great, the Admiralty's up here too?
I think they are one and the same at this point.
Well, Vicky's at war with the Stars. The Admiralty were like, basically tempered by the Clockwork Sun.
Yeah,
Not
but
the Clockwork Sun, the previous one.
yeah, and
The Dawn Machine.
the Dawn Machine, but the New Order is basically the state religion now.
Huh. That's interesting, because... yeah, Vicky's definitely not dazzled herself.
No, but she is at the same time essentially a judgment.
But yeah, she kind of has the powers of judgment, so maybe she's tempered them. What if we could make some flying clay pigs and save some of these people? Shadowbringer spoilers, by the way.
Okay, stupidly, my brain stayed within this thing, and I was like, wait, stone pigs?
No. Clay, not stone. No. King of the Sea says, by the way, we all chose monstrous races to F with the DM as we were in his world's most disliking of other cultures. Monstrous races can be fun. And though it's a little silly in 5th edition because, yeah, why are gnomes monstrous now? I don't find that cool. Also, like, tieflings aren't anymore. They're
Well, 5th edition is...
PHP.
Or wait. I was confusing 5th and 4th. Never mind.
We're gonna talk about 4th.
No.
4th trying to be World of Warcraft is why so many people moved to Pathfinder. Like, we didn't want completely different D&D, we wanted more D&D. Come on, wizards, get with it. Ah, they were all tieflings in the middle of Vatican City. There are 2 ways to play that. There's wee heresy, and then there's like the less expected route of oddly religious tiefling that defies his devilish ancestry by being really devout. He keeps pausing to genuflect at things. Spicy pizza!
The committee sits in a requisition stockroom just off the bit between. It is cramped, forcing the members to rotate who attends. Workworlders and overseers sit in equal balance. Compared to how things were before, are you happy? You're honestly asking me that. Whether I'm happy. Of course I'm not. But this isn't about me, is it? Oh, I could have gotten more tea right there.
Well,
You know what? Why not? I'll go ahead and do that, and really, I should have done that first.
you ever grab some loose pizza toppings and put them in your mouth to avoid making a mess? And then find out, oh, that was just onion.
Oops.
3 tieflings and an Azimar.
Walk into a bar and...
So, how many on the table made the Dumpars sucks to your Azimar joke? It's a multi-layered literary reference, but somehow it's still really dumb. I hated that book. Don't put my pizza away, do I? Aw, cute.
Oh, Vince.
You cute.
Oops. Just misread HML as HTML. I just misread the HML Grunwald as the HTML Grunwald.
HTTPS space train .ucco.uk. Right. King of Thieves says, I remember when my friend played a Minotaur Bard. He said he played the guitar and called it his axe.
Heh. See, I'm just thinking, let me sing for you the song of my people.
Oh no. No, he played cowbell.
Ha!
Ding, 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 ding,
Da,
ding,
da,
ding,
da,
ding.
da,
Oh dear.
Ba-dum, 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 da-dum.
Like an Albion exploder. Because they exploded.
Oh, got him. You know what, let's just repair a little bit. One of those shiny bastards got me a couple times.
Shiny bastards.
Old shiny bastard.
Oh, also, I might have cracked up in Mazio's about scientist claims mushrooms.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Cool.
Hmm?
Good news that makes up for everything. In Costa Rica, they discovered a frog that looks more like Kermit than any other frog.
Oh, cool.
That frog looks a lot like Kermit.
That, I think I remember hearing about that. Oh, wait.
Show me the froze. Yeah, that may have been from the past.
Yeah.
Because do you remember IG? So,
Yeah, I remember that old guy.
that frog looks a lot like Kermit.
Uh-huh.
He's cute. I don't see it dating a pig, though. It's mostly small. That's insufficient frog for successful pig romance. You require more frog than that. Acquire more frog. Spawn more tadpoles.
Disrupt proceedings with a perfect pangolin. The sessions tend to be droning and dull, but you're provisioned with a pangolin of unparalleled perfection.
How often can you do that?
I don't know. You have exhausted this opportunity for now. You slide into session and seat yourself in the back, your footsteps swallowed by the slow, sloppy rhetoric of the MPs. How boring. You should remedy this. Discreetly, you lift your perfect pangolin up and whisper to the gleaming nub of her ear. She salutes, beautifully of course, and races away to interrupt the funerary drivel. As expected, the perfect pangolin performs exquisitely, exciting the session to astonished conversation. The two of you are quickly evicted, although not before you've glutted yourself on gossip.
Amusing.
Uh-huh.
Keanu Steve says it took him 3 sessions to die. We'll miss you, Thrax the Goblin Screwer. You tried to say something else and got automated, didn't you? Goblin Screwer was not his name. That's what I'm gonna guess. Which reminds me, I actually need to bring the Twitch up so I can mod it properly. I'm just responding to stuff in the Discord chat.
Well, if they did get auto-modded, at least for once it was doing its job correctly.
For once it wasn't pointlessly screwing someone over for no reason.
Yeah. Alright, let's try to make a new law. Time to get to the business of government.
Like, just being weirdly homophobic for no reason.
It is Monday. The week begins with endless meetings. You are spared the most tedious of them. The loquacious civil servant explains that in matters of government policy, ministers tend to be more of an unfortunate necessity than a boon. The loquacious civil servant consults the latest opinion polls. This is indeed a courageous law, he comments, in a tone usually saved for a particularly unfortunate eulogy. Scare the house with a tale of terror.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. You paint the fascinated MPs a tale of the wonders and hardships outside of their parliamentary cocoon, taking care to sprinkle in a few embellishments when they seem to be on the verge of dozing off. It may not all sink in, but they won't quickly forget the gory details. Defang your rival with a generous act. There are things you've heard, things you've learned, that could cause them trouble. You'll ensure that they cannot be shared further without requiring anything in exchange. As the embers of former blackmail materials drift away, you shake hands and confirm the support of your biggest rival. They'd better remember. Invent a good invent a good stob sorry. To sway... Sorry!
I thought this was London, not Canada.
Your tale of a woe that could have been prevented by your law hits its target. While your civil servant is uncomfortable with the lie, she sticks to the script and pockets a most generous bonus at Parliament's expense.
King of the Thief says his head was mounted on the wall as he... His head was mounted on the wall as he interrupted that World's Geneva Convention via flirting with the king's wife. Yeah, that's a good way to find yourself having to roll a new character. If you're gonna flirt with the king's wife, do it behind a curtain or something.
It is Thursday. Slowly but surely, the new law is taking shape. I believe we're starting to see some success, reads the loquacious civil servant's latest note. Whatever you are doing, I highly advocate its continuation and or escalation, to be deleted as appropriate and with the greatest possible respect.
Like, convince her when no one's looking to, like, join you in a rope trick. Boy, that sounds dirtier than it should. I mean, like, cast rope trick and never... Yeah. That way you can flirt without the king's guard running you through.
Okay. Good. All leaks take place in the estranged bar. The phlegmatic journalist is happy to spread the word about your bill, in exchange for a little fresh bacon on your fellow ministers. True or not, it hardly matters. The squalid little rag he and his colleagues crank out between liquid lunches may be read by everybody in Highminster, but it's taken seriously by nobody. You weave a fanciful tale and are credited as a source close to the First Secretary. It is a scrupulously honest title. Everyone is in close proximity here. Conduct a survey. Good. With the help of your attractive staff, scrubbed up and pushed into suits they will never be able to afford, you put the key questions to the protesters outside. No one wants to disappoint the attractive, smiling people in front of them, and you receive the answers your questions demanded. Alright, 53% chance of success. It is voting day. The first draft of the new law is complete. Civil servants doze on their desks, eyes red raw from too much late working by candlelight. The loquacious civil servant is nowhere to be seen, choosing instead to take a long lunch. This is probably a good sign. Yay! Your proposed law is fiercely contested by the House. Fortunately, as nobody else has actually read it, none can give particularly cogent arguments against it. When the dinner bell goes, even its archest critics are happy to vote for it if it'll get them to the dining room before the sausages are all gone. All that remains is to take it to the throne of ours, where the Empress will choose whether or not to grant it her royal stamp. As you file out of the house, you see one of the First Secretary's clerks watching. She nods her head approvingly. Your status in Parliament is clearly on the rise. Very good.
King of Thieves says it was either the king's wife or just a matriarch. Either way, he was mauled by a bear. Sir Barrington?
Exit pursued by a bear. And remember that we love you very much. Alright, let's return to London with our bill.
Colin William.
Humble wooden coffins pepper the sky here. This is a bully's acre, a pauper's graveyard. There's little room for the dead in London. Silence as coffins drift past the windows. A stoker removes his hat. Oop!
Thieves was playing a no rogue. Oops. In the face. I love this particular gun. It fires a projectile that you can detonate if you like miss, or if you like intentionally want to hit several at once or something. And yeah, that was so confusing. The projectile was gonna fly right past his face, but right as it got there, clicky, boom. That's right in the face. Ouch. Secrets.
Ooh, ministry stamped permits. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. Oh yeah, something else that seriously got me in Mazios. When someone turned around and asked if I was okay, because I was like, ooh! This is in the tree's meme hole. Sacramento Bee. A San Francisco billionaire is donating $30 million to University of California, San Francisco to research root causes of homelessness and potential solutions.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Comment.
A mirror is
Mirrors are $10 at Target.
Yeah.
That's a critical burn.
Nope. T. I'm so glad I stopped for that.
Oh, goodness. Hoist the mainsail! I spy a bunch of floating crap! At least it wasn't crockery.
I mean, I think I might be running kind of low on that.
I do not know if I used the keys, but it helps. The only thing you're running low on is fuel.
This is true. Fuel would definitely have been better to find.
Yes.
There we go. 2 near misses and a direct hit. A triple locked case.
Ooh.
Caged catch.
Nice.
Not bad.
I forget, do you have to stop at the throne itself to turn into the law?
No, that I stop in the London
Okay.
station. Station.
St. Dominic Station.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
T for the sun, sure. I'll pick that one up later if I decide to go that way.
Hey, go look. What's happening? Pardon me. Pardon me.
Hand in a Luna. My mouth is just not working.
Nah. Is that like when a squirrel attacks Lou Dobbs?
I think my speech centers are closed for the day.
And I'm just amused at the thought of a squirrel attacking Lou Dobbs. You see it too. Oh, it's nuts.
One of her renewed majesty's servants awaits you. Perhaps she will deign to give this one her royal assent, enshrining your hard work into official Albion law.
At least they don't light it in fire in front of you anymore.
Yeah. You present the new law in its ceremonial purple-cushioned box. Servants draw straws, hoping to avoid the task of delivering the box to the Empress. One, grimacing, bears the box away. Another returns with a short note. Victoria will consider it for a very long while. They recommend that you do not wait. A parliamentary envoy awaits you outside, bearing a bonus for having got a new bill at least this far.
I hope she's not too abusive to the people that are forced to bring those to her.
Right, that was Rollberry was the next one of those. Alright. 2 rolls of Thirsty Bombazine. And how much tea were they wanting? 3. And actually, let's get some more tea as well to take to the place to get the thing. Words. I have them.
The
Hold
Royal
on.
Society.
Yes, the Royal Society. I need more drink. Oh, ow. Oh, that hurt.
Careful with the spine there. It's limited. It's got a limited spine view.
It actually wasn't the spine.
For a little minute.
No, shoulder.
Ooh.
Actually, simultaneously shoulder and, like, hamstring.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Vince licked my foot.
Vince is here to make it better.
Thank
You
you.
need it meowed at?
Thank you, Vince. Ugh. Get that out of my way. Oh, I'm growing old and feeble now. My days are growing short.
Yeah. That's just because you started sleeping like the cats. Kingdom Thief says, you would love graveyard keepers.
That sounds familiar. I think Vince wants me to feed him.
Yep, it looks like we're having a short cat feeding break. As the Lord of the Fuzz has expressed his desire to consume something. Something soft and moist for him to just like, oh. Meanwhile, I'm filled with 3 significantly large slices of pizza. Processing large amount of pizza. The green is not that large amount. Remember back in college, I would, and at first it was like a medium. Okay, get a medium or a large pizza from a place called Pizza Shuttle, which, yeah, their large was significantly smaller than the large that I have. And it'd be like a large or a medium, especially when I looked it up with medium. I'd just be doing something, possibly homework, possibly video games. It'd get to be around 2 a.m. and I'd look to the right and be like, I just accidentally my entire pizza. I meant to eat half. Oops.
Oof.
Game of Thieves explains it's a good game. You get isekai'd pretty much, and now you're stuck as a village's gravekeeper. Ah, cool, you get to play Dompe from Ocarina of Time. Discover the hookshot.
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing someone play that. Who was it that I...
Was it one of your 2D waifus?
No. I think it was Pushing Up Roses, actually.
Ah. That doesn't seem like something she would play.
Yeah.
Your best friend is an alcoholic skull. Sounds vaguely similar to Planescape Torment.
That's another one I need to
Except
play.
I don't think that guy's alcoholic. He is a talking floating ass skull.
Askull.
London is built on a series of descending plates. Both their districts higher up, the poorer ones below. Steeped in smoke. Safe!
Base.
You can't shoot me! Aw, man!
400 sovereigns. And they want another caged catch.
Yeah, it's a good thing Stovies don't, you know, roll up and surround your docking spot. If they acted like a competent police force sort of a thing, it would be much nastier and much more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, they're apparently rather underpaid. Like, nah. They think at this point, if they even caught sight of your engine, they'd be like, nope. TMZ says it's like Stardew Valley, but dark comedy. Does it let you romance weird things?
Oops.
Little gun in the broadside. That's okay, he exploded.
Yeah. That's what I get for trying to be goofy and finish him off with the shotgun.
Trying to get fancy.
I figured, I scored an indirect hit with the first one. So surely just a nice 4 gossip.
Yeah, pretty much not worth it unless they're already smoking. Like, you want to use Mega Man limit rules. Because you know how like some Robot Masters have just enough health that using their weakness will take them down to 1 pip.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to be rude, you can then switch to the Buster and, get behind them and just do an execution style.
Oof. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Thomas sends his regards.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, no. Ew. Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, you don't want to overheat around them. It's important to dodge their shots.
Create
The gun!
the uninvited.
I thought you didn't have any nightmares.
I don't have any nightmares.
Wait, hover over your things. What's letting you do this?
Enough guests and a condemned experiment.
Okay, I thought you had to be the nightmares to want to be like, make a gun.
Gather one more handful of guests, and you'll have enough for a weapon. Like Mother Yeast, the colony will keep reproducing. It will have endless ammunition.
Like every other gun in the game for some reason.
Create the uninvited. After one last trip for a fistful of oozing, budding guests, you order the crew to leave you undisturbed. You have a weapon to build. You won't fire the guests themselves. That would be mad. Instead, you'll milk their secretions and project gobs of it through a pressurized launcher. Your crew are horrified, but they need not fear. You show them how to placate the guests with gifts of egg cups, lockets, cufflinks, and other knickknacks. Preferably ones that were once gifts or mementos.
Then the sciences died and you make a weird gun. King Steve says, Tagak. There's a communist donkey that brings you bodies each day.
Communist donkey.
Communonky.
Damage 30, range 750. The cannons have their bowels full of wrath, and ready mounted are they to spit forth. This heavy custom weapon fires triple gobbets of gunge, machine milked from imprisoned guests. It must be mounted in a large weapon slot.
Triple gobbets of gunge.
Gunge. It's not as good as this one.
Yeah, it's basically the tier 2 version. Well, sort of, except it's kind of a shoddy gun. It's a different gun. My question is your black shape on a large slot, or is this...
It's the black jape is on a normal slot.
I mean, the black shape isn't a large gun, but I don't remember if you have 2 large slots or...
No, I have 1 large and 1 small slot.
Okay. Because I recommend, like, equipping the uninvited and just toying around with it for a little. And then switching back to the good one, obviously.
Well, I have to get to port to do
get
that
a point.
anyway.
Like, spec fully for iron or something to make up for the lack of base damage. And just have a little fun with how the gun plays. In combination with your shoot gun.
Clockwork Sun,
King of the Sea
won't you
says,
come?
I love milking. I heard that in kind of a bending Rodriguez voice. Like along the lines of, I love stealing, I love taking things. I love milking.
Port report.
I love milking, I love lactating things. Oh, that's questionable. Cows and goats and yaks and wizards.
Okay, so I don't have anything else for there. Deliver the tea.
Get you some tea.
Don't really have anything else to fill up on, so...
Bread. You get some of that like really good bread with honey butter in it. That's what I tend to fill up on.
The Clockwork Sun isn't a
Like
restaurant.
rolls. Rolls. They should open one. The reviews would be hilarious.
The sun, the sun, the sun.
Yeah, you'd either get like complaints about weird amounts of glass in the salad, or the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. Oh, have you talked to the guy with the well-intended packages?
Yeah, I apparently have one that I have not delivered yet.
Okay. So that's the Clockwork Sun. It's only a little less disturbing than the Dawn Machine. A little less sentient, but it's intelligent enough to know that it's supposed to be immortal and horrified and angry that it isn't. And also terrified.
It's also possible that it might be the Dawn Machine.
Would she have really brought that thing up from... Maybe. I wouldn't recommend it.
I mean, there's certainly more to it than just the Dawn Machine, but there's stuff that indicates that a judgment is imprisoned inside of it.
I thought Molly gives an artificial judgment. That was the same problem the Dawn Machine had. They tried to make an artificial star and it turned sentient because, of course, they used correspondence in the making of it.
Right, exactly. And so, I'm saying
made
that
a judgment.
Exactly. So I'm saying it's the artificial judgment that might be imprisoned inside of it.
Unless it's a new artificial judgment and the Dawn Machine is still down there in the Z.
That's also possible. But I mean, for the new sequence to become the state religion and all of them to come up here easily with the rest of London, it'd make sense.
Oh heck, what if the sequencers are the ones that brought the Dawn Machine through the gate? And Vicky, drunk with her new powers, like, okay, sure.
Just like, we can use this.
Never mind that it's learned it's not immortal and is terrified of dying, and so it's been lashing out and turning everything around it to glass in anger.
Thought I was immortal and it was a gas. Soon found out. Turned everything to glass. That didn't quite work.
My teeth for glass. And that's what happened to the engineer lady.
Yeah.
She smiled at you and like a few of her teeth were clearly glass.
Da, da, da. Da, 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 da,
And then she tried to actually fix it, but unfortunately the stupid thing didn't realize what was good for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it went and tried to temper her instead. You piece of crap, she was trying to save you. Now you're screwed. Now the sun is screwed and we don't think it's worth saving anymore. It's a jerk is what it is.
Alright. Mirrors.
Oh wait, hold on. I asked if you could date anything weird in Graveyard Keepers, and you said there is a communist donkey that brings you bodies each day. Are you telling me you can romance the donkey? Are you playing a dragon?
You can kiss the ass.
Also, there's apparently a strange pattern with Shrek kart racers of Donkey driving around on his wife. Or possibly a cart shaped like her. Either way, it's questionable.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of iron spec'd officers.
That is true.
Like, I have the judicious driver, and eventually the fortunate navigator will go iron. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has left something behind. A sheaf of papers. 63 sovereigns, oh boy.
It's too bad they didn't write in something silly where it was just actually shirts.
Yep.
Don't forget, one thing you're here for is the...
Yep.
There's a law forge. Oh yeah, also your astronomer friend
Uh-huh.
might have something weird and new for you.
Indeed. The ascent to the telescope is arduous, and up an improbable number of winding stone stairs. At the top waits the telescope, gargantuan and gleaming as a slumbering dragon in its lair. The professor bounds up the last few stairs and harries you to pull the chains that raise the dome, while he fiddles with the machinery to lower the telescope to eye level. An assistant is on hand to do the actual work. Read his latest reports.
Muffin.
Progress! Slow and inexorable as the spinning of a spider's web, but progress all the same. A stray observation based on the patches of luminosity in the sky and the correspondent darkness between others. The constellations are politic.
You didn't know that? Right? Should we tell him there or? I guess we'll let him find out on his own. At least he's not being directly tormented by the Azure like that one boy girl.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do to make it mad at her specifically?
Let's see. This one. Okay, so I need 7 more experimental modifications. The tea that I brought will almost cover that.
Would you like to lick my bottle?
What?
I speak to the house cat
Ah.
of smallness. Amy. Hey. There you go. She likes her water unusually fresh.
There we go.
And your
And,
levels.
yeah.
For the smuggling.
I loaned a dozen of these when I was an undergraduate. Helped speed up the process of this. The Tinkerer gestures to the sigils swarmed over her skin. Always at a cost, mind. We've modified this one to only remove the most immediately inconvenient legalities. You wouldn't want it to develop a sudden antipathy to gravity or thermodynamics or sunlight, would you?
Under most circumstances, no. Under specific circumstances, certainly. Frick it, let's burn that second law. Eat it, entropy!
Oh boy, more tea.
Sufficient data for a meaningful answer has been acquired. Let there be light, suckers! Your hole is full. Your hold is full.
Alright. Now let us be off to the mausoleum. Just because it's on the way. Or, you know, it's like nearby enough that I may as well swing by before heading back to London.
Just for funsies. You're gonna put a mausoleum for lulz.
Yeah. It's a lulzy place.
It shouldn't be, but actually it really is.
True, actually. I was just kind of making a joke, but no, it was actually more accurate than, Weep, 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 weep. Oh, dodge!
Ooh, Chrysler. Hi-yo! Loot! Shirts! Shirts! Shirts!
Permit.
Aw. It's never sure.
No, it's never shirts.
Stop trying to make shirts happen. It's not going to happen.
Hmm?
It's not tertium lupus.
Gossip. Gossip.
Wait, how would you say three-wolf moon in Latin? Like, moon would be Luna, right?
Yes. So it'd be Luna. Lupus. Luna luporum tertiorum? Or tertorum?
That's funny.
I think I'm declining that correctly.
Well, you don't want
Yep. Daniel.
it? Yeah, speaking of wolves, Hollow's Haven. It's a good place to learn about economics. Where are you shooting?
I think they were a bit confused. A bit taken by surprise. Taken by surprise. That may have come
There
out
you go.
wrong. Yeah. That was another moment of, wait, what just came out of my mouth?
In that case, it was conjugation.
Yes.
which comes from an old Spanish phrase for with education.
Report. Will of the people. You listen with appropriate amounts of care to each person who begs a moment of your time. The majority are local issues not worth bringing up in Parliament. Occasionally inspiration strikes for a new law. You promise with a practiced politician's sincerity that even if there is nothing you can do, you will do it to the best of your ability. They seem mollified by that. Partial success? Well, a vision of the heavens is fine.
A vision is fine too. Yeah, in spite of how serious this place should be, the Deathless are a bunch of dorks.
Yeah, they kind of are.
I mean, I guess mostly they're just bored, but yeah, dorks.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get 3 more holds.
Oh yeah, you should try a new gun on the way home. Sounds good as the old gun, but it should be fun.
Here comes the new gun, same as the old gun. Okay, yeah, I'm full now. Attending a funeral. Boing. Approach the Deathless. The Duchess would be a small figure were it not for the mounds of silk and brocade that comprise her dress. She glides along the flagstones, a great train of scarlet cloth following her like the telltale trail of blood in a penny dreadful. Today she is menacing the footmen, press-ganging them into her mock battles in the Tower Carmine. Fatalities are rare in her battles. Maimings are not. She gives you a red-lipped smile. A footman intervenes and introduces you. She is pleased to encounter a genuine captain and quizzes you on all the battles you've fought in the wilderness. The goriest details she demands you linger on. She parts with you only reluctantly.
Oh, good. You've entertained the Duchess Doofus. Which may or may not have changed the thing.
No, that wasn't the invitation.
Okay.
That was just the that was the thing that gains favor rather than spends it. Jeez. Stop.
Hey, drinking the bubbles. Take a back. Ew! Wow, that doesn't generate a lot of heat, does it?
No, it's I think either 1/3 or 2/3 the heat of the. It's 2/3 the heat. Yeah.
So you could fully double-click that without overheating.
Mm-hmm.
And sounding vaguely like Master Belch.
Oops.
Oops. So burpy.
I'll go ahead and take the repairs.
Yeah, you notice that the game kind of hints that it won't have tracking on it. Like a lot of missiles do. Because you're just shooting the goo.
Yep.
If you're shooting the guests themselves, well,
Hmm.
then it would probably have a little bit of homing ability. And you get dark side points for using it. Ooh, that was a horrible thing to do. You should feel bad about that.
I'm not where I thought I was. I'm in London.
Oh, is the waste wave trying to show you something again? No, you don't have her attention. Or do you have her attention? Not sure.
I have not earned the wrath of the waste wave. Failure.
Heck.
Lost a crew. The mist is soft at the windows. The stars have gone awry. You crawl onward. There's an outbreak of violent star madness among the crew. In time, you find your way back to a stretch of sky you can locate on your chart. The journey continues. Somehow, as I pull into the station, I get lost.
Oh, and an outbreak of the dawn. You have a storm that won't shut up. Showing up and not shutting up.
Yup. Okay, fully repaired already. Bank. Actually, wait.
Time to switch back to the good gun.
Let's switch that back out. Pop both of those into storage. Along with these things.
Now here's a very stupid question.
Hmm?
How much can you sell that gun for?
I mean, it's not like I need the money, but let's see. 500.
Hmm.
Urgh.
Are you using a smuggling drill?
Currently, no.
Okay. You just still have the Prosperina for some reason.
The Proserpina, yeah. Oh, also, I just realized the, yeah, absolutely effects.
Oh, yep, yep.
I just noticed that. Because I realized that number was lower earlier.
It was. It's changed.
Mm-hmm. It's not the same.
It's different. I'm looking through it.
Where did it go? Beatles jokes. We're hip.
With it.
Okay, I need to deal with terror. So I've grabbed those souls. Not going in either of those directions right now.
No, we're going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
A less stupid direction.
I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you mention what happened last time?
No. What did happen last time?
We
Remind
evolved
me.
the bat.
We did evolve the bat.
It was Gregnan?
Pregnant.
Pregante.
Pregnant. Danger Ops, Prangent Bat.
Jeez, how much terror do you get for burning a Luigi board? Ghost.
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 Period question mark. Okay. So I'm going to place, then place, then place. Am I taking anything to those places other than that? I don't think I am.
Yeah, your goals currently involve bouncing to the Empyrean to get a passenger for Lustrum, and fixing time at Mulberry by the Sea, and yeah, it's getting close to Blue Kingdom time, I think.
Okay.
Depending on how interesting you are in continuing to search for Langley.
I think I'll do that later because there are implications that staying overlong at Langley's house has unwanted side effects. Like it's addictive. And now granted, it seems like a great place to be. Of all the places in the high wilderness, I wouldn't mind settling down there.
Yeah, considering how much of a hole the rest of the sky is.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm right here. I'm going to see what smuggling ops there might be headed toward Eleutheria. Illicit literature to the Empyrean. 9 trunks within 2 months. And illicit literature to Lustrum. I mean, I'm going to both of those places.
Bargains available.
None.
Not like. It's like, what?
But yeah, 2 months, so I will want to pick that up afterwards.
Yeah, I think you can do 9 in 2 trips?
I should be able
Maybe
to,
one?
yeah, I should be able to do it in 1.
I'm surprised maybe didn't meow.
Now that I have the double law furnace.
For burning inconvenient double laws. The worst kind.
Ow.
Oh. Yeah, they have a blue rocket launcher. It isn't weak.
Yeah. Failure. On a 94? Oh
You have
well.
failed to investigate the bodies.
Uncanny specimen.
I'm not
Whatever.
sure what you're looking at. You think you see a wheel of cheese. Can't tell.
This was cheese. Once.
Oh, he used cheese. Because
Hello,
cheese
Remy.
was his medium. What he did with it.
The thing on the mantelpiece. You are in possession of a certain otherworldly artifact. It has begun to appear persistently in your dreams. Never prominent, but always present. Sat innocuously on a mantelpiece, half hidden in a shadowed corner, carried casually by a loved one. Huh? Sure. Let's see if she likes it.
Hey, Frosty Fingers, you want
Failure.
She didn't want.
Making your way to an exterior hatch, you cast the artifact out and spit vigorous curses after it. The winds pluck it away, but when you return to your cabin, there it is, sat smugly on your bedside table. Are those frosty fingerprints on the base? And there we go. Your donation is placed on a velvet cushion and carried away. You are to return in 3 hours when the chapel will be ready for you. At the appointed time, the registrar escorts you to the tomb. The chapel is empty. Posies lie crumpled on the marble floor, along with mourning lace and brooches bearing the prince consort's handsome face. You spend a somber hour admiring the frescoes and the folds of marble cloth that swaddle the effigy. I nearly said swallow. That is not the word. Somewhere behind you a bell tolls. The cheery registrar hurries you out. Another visitor is coming. And there must be no one at the tomb when they arrive.
Well, apparently no one's noticed what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably good.
I mean, he does wear those gloves.
Yep. Only she knows.
Her.
To think that she's right behind that hidden door every time you go in there. Oops again. Ding.
That's a good deal for a caged catch.
Yes, they're definitely worth more than 20 sovereigns.
40 sovereigns. 2 barrels of fuel.
Yeah, fuel's 25, not 10.
Yeah.
I saw 2, but I was like, I thought it was 10 for some reason.
One of the Skylarks has struck up a rapport with the creature. He sobs into a dirty handkerchief as it is carried onto your engine. The others are happy to see it go. When it bites a finger off the first person to feed it, you understand why.
It's a bit ill-tempered, like a sea bass.
With the laser on its head.
Well, like a sea bass.
Oh, another thing. Hours. Oh, the Tackety?
At this latitude?
What are you doing mining for those out here? You have much better sources, much closer to home.
Yeah, what are you even doing in Albion? Go home.
You're drunk.
Do you need, like, an escort to the gate or something?
Why am I headed towards the stair to the sea?
I don't know.
I don't have business there. I guess I just usually go there when I go this way.
Remy's here now.
Hello, Remy. Ooh, another thing. Oh, and...
Spine fluke and an angry... Scorn fluke.
Scorn fluke.
I think I almost said a spinal fluke.
We are spinal fluke.
So that's why the drummer's head exploded. Correspondence. Oh, I think that actually is.
Indirectly, but yeah.
Here's this chunker.
Yep. Or possibly just they are weaker. They have less HP. Take a small repair from this one. And harvest souls from this one. Hey! It takes a sharp knife and deft hands to get the fluke's glands without killing it completely. It has glands!
Full of souls.
Sorry. The souls need to be collected before the creature dies, and the furious anger holding it together dissipates. Once the beast collapses, anything of value will be destroyed. The first nodule you slice holds nothing but warm pus.
Ew.
The second throbs with light, but bursts when pricked. Finally, after slicing through gelatinous cartilage, you draw out a soul. Bright, warm, pristine. What explorer did the fluke kill for this? What knowledge did it glean?
Yes, what knowledge did it pick up from the dirt after it had been planted? Or, yeah, after the harvest had gone by.
I forget what I pick up here. This was only ever a place to pass through, never a destination. Bitter cold rhymes every surface. A merciless wind passes without effort through even your sky suit, your flesh, your lungs. You will not stay here long. A sign has been hammered onto the pillar. If you've done something that can't be forgiven, if there is no place left to run, if you would seek refuge with the gentleman, record your name and crime. It is barely legible under a thick coat of frost. Your terror has fallen. Okay. I stop there so infrequently, I always forget what,
I forget what's there.
Yeah. Market of Truth. Purchase a caged catch.
Sheriff, 7 more.
Port report. Watch the quiet sea. The great glass windows at the south of the office look out onto the misty waters. There's precious little else to do here. Peering into the wisps of white mists that dance across the shrouded sea, you can make out a few boats drifting towards the gate. Its statues are hidden, aside from a few pinpricks of light dancing near their crowns. Below the office, the shoreline is clogged with rotten flowers and ruined offerings from the cultists that live on the sea. Perhaps they were rejected. Perhaps they were never received.
Perhaps they're feeling dejected.
Infected, rejected, neglected, and all sorts of other mean, nasty things.
On the Group W branch. Yeah, nothing like having a last name that starts that far down the alphabet. Feel bad for your name, Vasquez. Here's Zimmerman.
Hello? Ooh, I got myself there.
You're up against multiple lizards. Just like Untitled Goose Game before it, there is a dedicated honk farm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Z.
It's X.
Oh, is that? X for explain?
X for honk.
That is not how that should ever be spelled.
Why not?
Because it's just dumb. It is dumb and silly. Honk. That just sounds like a mispronunciation of chonk.
It's a hard H.
I should get some H softener in the H.
Which is what an X is in some languages.
That just sounds like it's gonna get like friggin' carbonaceous scale on your H plumbing.
Actually, wait, I don't need to check if there's revenue in there, because I have enough,
Smuggling parts.
yeah, I have enough smuggling parts to, get everything through anyway.
Sneaky, sneaky do. Really? Like Zoink Scoob? We can use this to get so much kush across the border. Octothorpe Jinkies. Yes, I do believe this is where you have some time repair to do.
Indeed.
Yeah, we shall see all things, including time.
Let's go to the off-season first. Oh boy, T. Deliver the sequencer's care package. Sure, why not? Free tea.
It's free tea estate.
Oh, no, wait, it costs otherworldly artifacts. But those are... I have so many of those.
So many.
Join the ritual in the other half.
Yeah, there's a new Creepy Dave.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch that last one.
Armadillo. Oh, you haven't watched the Chichiwa yet?
Uh-uh. Supply the port authorities to gain entrance. Write a port report.
Oh yeah, I believe I've told you about I'm on observation duty before.
Mm-hmm.
So there are naturally some clones of that. And in one of them, one of the anomalies that can take place is just like the trash disappears from the from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a bag of trash sitting next to the trash can. It just goes boop. And
Failure.
this one has like a sanity mechanic. If you start missing anomalies, you lose sanity bar decreases.
This clock must have been designed by a madman. Though the gears seem to know what they're doing, you can make no sense out of it whatsoever. Passers-by outside wonder where the 13th bong came from.
That's particularly funny for stupid reasons. Remember the time that you did that?
Yes. Oh,
My
that, yeah.
subconscious kept count while I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand why you lose sanity for the trash display. Like, the helpful ghost took the trash out. I don't see the problem. Thanks. Thanks, ghost.
It takes you a minute, but you eventually adapt to your donkey's stilted gait. Halfway through the experience, the beast shucks its limbs, begins undulating smoothly instead along the sand. How fortunate. You're returned to the paddock of nervous customers intact and only moderately traumatized. Here's a path to the beach.
You know, I've said these are almost definitely crabs, but I'm not really sure if they're even crabs. I don't know what they are. They're weird endemic things.
The cultists in attendance are less effervescent than those in the church, more reserved, possessed of a reverent uneasiness. They make space for you in their midst, permitting access to a cauldron stinking of salt. Chew, but don't swallow, warns a robed cultist. You're given a mouthful of something tensile, reminiscent of sinew boiled to imperviousness. You gnaw on the lump as you've been told. It is nothing worse than other meals you have consumed. Soon there is nothing but a length of black bone. You spit it out. The jag of calcium is quietly taken away. The group disbands. Whatever happened is over.
Gross.
Ring, ring.
Doodle-doo.
Nothing interesting. Divest the donkeys of their eggs.
At least it's not Mr. Risk. Who doesn't love getting a phone call from Mr. Risk while at work?
Yeah, those take hours.
I've got a call in a meeting before. It's like, oh, it's Mr. Risk. Gonna ignore that.
Especially if they get Australia.
Oh! I didn't realize you were referring to the board game!
Hey, 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 hey. Oh no. Affiliation establishment. Plus
Need more
one.
establishment. He's got some. That's got some.
There we go.
There we go.
I also need more fuel, though. Oh, well, that... I
You'll
have...
have room.
Yeah, I'll have room.
You can get two jars? 2 barrels of fuel. Or one.
One more barrel of fuel. Which will be enough to get me back to London.
Gemstones be one of the highest magnitude things in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Back to London. Oh, real quick. Are they wanting... Yep, caged catch again. Man, I've still got that Succubambospis song stuck in my head.
Why do I have a Zoom notification?
Oh dear. Gotcha. Ligaments.
Oh, oops.
Hmm?
Yeah, we made an error during those deployments.
Uh-oh.
Some files that needed to be replaced weren't replaceable for reasons that were dumb. They were set to like freaking 744 or something like that, and neither of us were the owner.
Oops.
So he had to like go into the Linux zone and give it a chone and did Gmod and made it 774 because it's unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't paid close enough attention to the fact that it was actually like 741 or something like that. there was a reason for that one at the end.
Oh.
So I don't think it's made a huge mess, but we derped over an unattended job.
Oops.
So we should have made it 775.
Hop over to the
to read and execute, but not right.
to the Ministry of Works.
The group permission kind of needs to be able to write. If you can't overwrite the file, you can't very easily deploy. Yeah, because unfortunately we don't have CI/CD. In fact, the deployment system is a little worse than at my previous job. Is super manual. You fire up WinSCP and you do some copies. That really hurt.
That did hurt.
They're not dangerous unless you turn your broadside to them close up. Then they sort of tear you apart. That's bad.
Ooh, Immaculate Souls.
I was like, you know, it's too bad they're moving away from PHP because I have PHP to play. I just have it. I shouldn't, but I had a backup of it lying around on a flash drive. I can file the serial numbers off. Which sounds worse than it does. I don't mean like, you know, like, they'll never know. I mean more like...
No, back to Worldberry again for the clocks.
I mean, remove the sensitive stuff.
Right.
Things talking about specific users or specific servers or... Yeah, stuff like that.
The configurations.
Because yeah, if I started this job, if I moved to this job a couple of years ago, I would probably have people adulating me after like bringing up like, you know, I can make us a much nicer deployment system than this. Just like quietly scraping out the CRUD from PHP deploy and adjusting it a bit to fit better with their system. I'd have to rebuild it for Git. Which is probably perfectly doable. It's probably doable with Perforce too, but difficult and a massive pain in the arse, I'm sure. Perforce seems to suck.
Are you okay?
Remy gave me a look about that.
It was kind of a funny sound.
It's fine. I just gotten pulled back into work unexpectedly and just pulled myself back out. Which apparently involves a Nixon-like followed by a tiny kid meal.
Good.
I guess that's how that works. Because sometimes it's just a tiny fuzzy kitten. Like that gag of like the Nolan Batman versus a kitten.
Kitty! I'll keep those on me. And... okay. So, I have room for 5 more things.
Five more things.
Oh, actually... wait, what? I thought... no, that is 2 hidden compartments. Everything is 2 hidden compartments. Okay.
And 2. And 2. And 2. And 2.
For some reason, I thought something was 1.
Something might be 1, but you may have upgraded from it. Whatever it was. It wasn't stained glass.
No.
No matter how hard you try, stained glass isn't going to help you smuggle things.
No.
Unless you're trying to hide it from the stars. Apparently it works on them.
Okay. So I can now go get 9 books and head to Eleutheria.
9 books.
Hopefully that,
10 is right out.
hopefully that, job hasn't expired.
It's been less than 2 months, right?
Well, no, I mean, like, hasn't disappeared.
Nah, yeah, not sure what makes us reload. Who knows? Maybe they'll have like a job for like bringing stuff to Prosper or something. That way you can do like a bunch of liberations.
There we go.
Literature to Hyperion. Oh, yeah.
Within 2 months. There we go. And Lustrum also wants a lister. No time limit on that. But I'll worry about that later. Because I can't carry all that illicit literature through. And that's not the way I'm going to be going. Like, I won't be popping back here We going straight through Eleutheria to the Reach. There.
1350.
1350. What is this, Wiener?
Ready to make it.
What is this, Wienerville? Sorry,
Wienerville.
that's the ancient.
Yeah, that sounds Eldar. That sounds like from before the First Age.
What?
Wienerville? Yeah, that sounds like from before the Sun and Moon.
What are you talking about?
That sounds like something Melkor did. Oh,
Oh,
I think Melkor did that too. These black clouds are annoying. Your gun's better than mine.
Just pop out, boom, duck around the corner.
What is this, a cover-based shooter?
Exactly. Sure, reduce my terror.
Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up now! I was in the crib, run away from a duck now!
What?
Get this freaking duck away from me!
So-called Arthur King, who's afraid of a duck, you know.
Your dog enjoys the flapping and pooping.
Does your dog ken you're a numpty?
Meow. The dreaded double scoop.
Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer,
The deadly trumpet factory.
go Speed Racer, go.
Bye, Fluke. Now that's some irresponsible hooning.
That's some very responsible hooning, thank you.
Hey, how's my arm repair going? Good. I had an allergy injection last week, and the needle went on a journey,
Ugh, ow.
leaving a C-shaped wound. I think I must have accidentally wiggled a little where I was standing.
Okay, let's, actually, I will pop in for a port report, I guess.
Plus, I believe you have time to return.
That too, thank you.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
A hat. Port report. investigate the clocks. Will I win the
Boy,
coin?
they're getting difficult.
Will I win the coin flip this time?
Ding.
Yes.
You've done it.
Deep in the mists, the two lovers and their diving bell begin wondering exactly when it will be time to return to the surface. They have no way of knowing that the attendant above has clocked off, assuming his replacement will be there in minutes, rather than the hours it will actually be. They tell each other not to worry, and curl up happily in each other's arms, breathing each other's scent until they can no longer keep their eyes open. You have been promoted to senior orologist.
I sure hope the diving bell is supplied with an active supply of air like they usually are.
Should be. Here is a path to the beach. Nothing interesting there. Explore a tiny lane bedecked with shops. A woman calls you over to a stall selling toffee something. They're a little too large to be apples. She assures you with a broad smile that, of course they're apples. Maybe you haven't seen one recently and can't recall how they look. Some of the toffee has fingerprints in. Still, that child bedecked in frills seems to be eating some without suffering any obvious harm. Consider the strangeness of the lanes. The lanes do not appear as advertised, but of all their sins, that one is the least phantasmagoric. It is most likely the smiles. Maybe. Carnivore expressions, syrupy and gleaming, faultless mirrors of the couturier's dazzling grin. Or maybe it is the second-rate souvenirs cobbled from haberdashery and children's nightmares. The arsenic aftertaste of the candy floss. The wine-wild quality of the local perfumes. Could be anything. Could just be your insecurities, the error of your existence. Whatever the case, the lanes continued their watch. Politely, of course. Donkey! Let me ride that donkey. Rubbery lumps. Slide across to the off-season. All right. Onward. Ah,
Cool, he found garbage.
garbage day.
Someone in Albion was like, some captain will throw this away for me.
Ah! I'll just take that repair. and call it good. Didn't even need the hidden compartments.
Hooray!
Yeah, I'll just head straight to Pan. I am on a time limit, after all. I mean, it's a long time limit, but still.
So, you can blow by the halves eyeball at breakneck speed if you want.
Whoa, it's
This is a fluke.
it's a scorn fluke. Meow.
What do I got here?
Yeah.
Maybe it used to be a griever, but it was put in Paranosi.
Speaking of grievers, yeah, that one's far enough out of my way. I will ignore for the time being.
Yeah, the only reason it started waking up was you were shining your headlight at it.
I don't have my cannery equipped anyway because smuggling.
Yep. You didn't plunder anything from the library. You plundered stuff from dead spinsters because they attacked you. Or were there. Fly lightly.
You mean fly lightlessly? Eh?
You don't have your cannery. Oh, it's not cannery, it's that's a terror hermit.
Yep.
They'll scare you.
Scare me bad. Scare me good. Fortunately, my terror is still pretty low because I just got here.
That does sting, though, 20. And you get a Crimson Promise out of it, but... You got a few Crimson Promises, and it's 20 terror.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get rid of terror in Eleutheria.
Yeah. Fortunately, I am basically passing straight through the place, so...
Yep. So you get rid of some for docking at Pan, because you haven't been there in a while. And you can get some from, like, watching an Outrider launch. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Feanor Hill. Oh,
Farinor.
Good. Freaking Palantir making Dunkus. Yeah, you ponder these orbs. Just hug a bunch of marble around.
Oh, there was a thing that I saw that I intended to share with you, but I forgot, and now I don't remember where I saw it. But it was like another one of those hybrid meme things where it takes two mimetic things and combines them. And it was the wizard pondering his orb on his back, and then drops the orb on his face.
Ow. See, the way you had your hand out, like, I thought it was like, is this an orb?
No,
There's something
like he's lying down with,
Yeah.
and then drop. Hour of Trumpets.
And I have done that with my phone before.
Yeah.
Just like too freaking sleepy and start to lose consciousness. Whap! Ow! Okay, I just need to go to sleep.
That's one of the reasons I have my tablet on a swing arm over my bed. So I can just watch something while I fall asleep and not have to worry about that. Oh, right. You know what? Honestly, just regularly flying with two miniature law furnaces is kind of more useful than having the sensible plumbing. It just loses me 3 crew space, which...
Yeah, I think your engine's crew requirement is like 18 or something.
Less than that, I'm pretty sure.
12?
12, yeah.
Wow, what's the point of having so much crew then? Well, I guess there's other stuff you can make crew do.
Yeah.
Unless scrupulous captains can always use crew as like a... In fact, particularly red captains might use crew as a literally consumable resource.
Yeah.
Yikes. I've searched my feelings and I don't like that it is true. You could probably put away Raveling Jack there.
Yeah, that too. Thank you for not letting me forget that.
No worries, it was easily done.
Yes.
Now, anything in Pan needing delivery to the Imperial?
Let's see. Ackless. Oh, the caged catches to Carolon. Again.
Brazen axe of reprisal.
Absolutely.
Easily. Gleefully. Trivially.
Mm-hmm.
We just won't tell them that it doesn't actually trouble Carolina at all.
Yep. They like it.
I mean, what's 7?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
And I think that's all my business here. Maybe I'll get a little more fuel and supplies. And go see if there's anything in that bank of clouds there.
Probably gonna mostly find drags.
Yeah, probably. And then the Empyrean.
To dump our illicit goods.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the passenger. And then quite possibly call it for the night as it is 11:22.
Oh, okay.
And well, I was a little bit late. We didn't exactly get started that late at all.
Yeah.
Grievers.
Grievers. Nope. Salvage. Tea. Of course.
We're not worthy of Midnight's favor.
Out of my head.
Midnight's belt, on the other hand, is right over there.
The suspenders of 3 a.m. More salvage. The crooked averet. What's an averet? You've gained 2 supplies. Yay. Ooh, amber. Green amber.
Gramber.
Ooh, and an extinguishment. Finger ready on the shotgun. Yep. Yeah, y'all fight each other. Have fun. I hate those invisible bastards. Ah, he's still after me.
You missed.
Yeah, barely.
You're gonna need to dodge. Oh, I thought you were gonna need to dodge that one. Hey, Outrider, you wanna...
You want to intervene? You want to outride?
Alright.
Oh, you know what I forgot to bring with me?
Okay.
3 ammo. 3 munitions.
Oh, there.
To get me through the gate. It's fine. It's not a huge deal.
Keep forgetting that's needed.
Alright. Shops. Bazaar. The gloomy middleman has an opportunity for which someone has specifically requested you. A private collector in the Eagle's Empyrean seeks books from the notorious Pages collection of Old London, which was said to contain copies of works assumed to be mythical. I rarely read myself, the middleman confides, on account of my deep mistrust of writers, whom I consider perfidious. The odds of finding something from the Pages collection is vanishingly small, of course, but to an optimist, any haystack might hide a needle. 9 trunks of illicit illicit literature should do in this case. Illicit literature is almost what came out of my mouth. Within 2 months, if you please. The Eagle's Empyrean lies to the north of Pan.
Isn't it, though?
The client is attached to the London Embassy. She avidly begins rummaging through the books. The Pages collection contained works written during the heyday of the Khans, once which might shed some truth on the Eagle's unlikely account of his early family history. Your promptness is appreciated. I have a lot of reading to do. A moon mizzler. I am currently neutral with both embassies.
You've gained 2175.
Big money. Oh! Bargains available, look at that.
Which would be 825 profit if it weren't for the amount that you made actually selling it to them in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even more than that. I didn't catch the initial amount.
It was quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a chunk. Like a couple thousand, I think.
It was definitely more than 1,000. I think it was less than 2,000, though.
No, either way, you made like
A lot.
a little under 2,500 total, I think, in profit.
And there's my passage paid for.
Convenient.
Twice.
Eagles Empyrean, home of convenience.
Okay, I don't have anything for him. Which means oh, repairs, sure.
No, do you know what the Khan's current interests are?
House of
Khan
Rods.
wants like specific port reports.
House of Rods and Chains, I'm pretty sure.
Rods and chains.
Yep. Need a new street line passenger in a mahjong parlor. Here we go. Lights of blue and green spill across the avenue, almost hiding a slim alleyway. A door, overlooked by most passers-by, opens to a descending staircase. Those who do see it, who enter, and who descend to the smoky parlors, are turned away by a set of muscular guards. But when you show your ticket, you are welcomed with professional courtesy. Your passenger is an old soul who's just lost yet another game. Ever so glad you're here, they say. You show them to your vessel. It's lustrum for them. Port report. The Empyrean. An outrider prepares for launch.
An outrider prepares for lunch. Delicious smells waft from the galley. The crew all go on break.
Alright, go to the Ovu of Returned Skies. Pause for a procession. 25 sovereigns. Get a vision of the heavens. And I suppose that's all my business here.
I believe so. Next up, we are off to Reach.
Yep. And you suggested wrapping up for now?
I do believe so. It's 11:30.
Yeah, okay. That's a good time to wrap it up. That's a good.
It's close to when we're actually supposed to wrap up.
Yeah, that's true. We usually run pretty late when playing this.
It's like it's fun or something.
Yeah. Could you open my desk?
Maybe.
Thanks for watching, folks.
Let's see if I can successfully make the strength check.
We'll be back on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I need to double check, but we should have Rose and Company. And if we do, we'll be playing Curse of Monkey Island, starting that one. If we don't, though, we'll be continuing Timberborn. Either way, fun games. Now let's see who's around to raid. Oh yeah, and more of this next Thursday. So. Voxandra's still streaming. Playing some Toho. Luna Knights, that's the Metroidvania Toho game.
The time-made game.
Caught a little bit of that earlier, looked fun. So let's go over to her. Thanks again, y'all. Hope to see you next time. Good night, everybody.